comic fans, how's it going? It's Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe and sound. It's a very good time to be a comic book fan, especially an independent comic book fan. Publishers are able to make all sorts of hardcovers now outside of the big two, the DC and Marvel. And Image in particular has been killing it out there with hardcovers. We recently got a sweet package from organicpricebooks.com. I think Matt had placed an order. I think I had a book or two in there as well. And then JP, being the incredible dude he is, threw in some stuff for us. Particularly two Image hardcovers, one of which I'm going to be talking about today, and that is Oblivion Song, the deluxe edition, book 1. This is by Robert Kirkman. We'll get into the details. We'll look at the book, talk about the story a little bit. This is another video that Matt recorded for me, so my hands and a lot of the sort of scenery is going to change from what it is now and what it usually is for my little top-down video shoots. But nonetheless, it's going to be great. Before we get into that, though, I got to tell you more about organicpricebooks.com, a fantastic resource for you to get your hardcovers, your official releases, DC, Image, Marvel, Dark Horse, IDW. The options are increasing day by day, week by week. JP is incredibly fast at shipping out orders. There are a ton of shipping options as well. You can pre-order on there. You know what books are on back order and when you can expect them by. It's a fantastic website, and it gets better because with the link down in the description below or the promo code THC2 at checkout, you'll get an extra $2 off every single one of your orders. So feel free to use that every time you order off organicpricebooks.com. Fantastic packaging, fantastic service. Cannot recommend it enough. It's the only place Matt and I go now whenever we're looking to buy official releases. So be sure to check him out. Use the promo code THC2 at checkout. Now, let's take a look at Oblivion Song and talk about the newest series by Robert Kirkman. The first deluxe edition, book 1 for Oblivion Song. This is written by Robert Kirkman with artwork by Lorenzo De Felici. Very nice looking book. This will be volume 1 of 3. The series came to a close with issue number 30, or it's supposed to come to a close with issue number 36. This one collects the first 12 issues, so you know the second one's going to collect 13 through 24, and then the last one will finish off the series with 25 to 36. This is obviously Matt recording this. I very much like this book. This was a series that was definitely on my list, especially once I heard that it was coming to a close and it was going to be a finite series and not one of these, nothing against Robert Kirkman. I really enjoy his writing. He's one of the greatest writers. I love Invincible. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. But sometimes with some of his books, he can drag things out a little bit, particularly with The Walking Dead. He did that. And I'm glad that this came to a close. I'm very glad it came to a close. I'm very excited to check this out. I did, while I haven't read the first deluxe that we're looking at now, I have read the first 6 issues of the series when I was checking it out, and I refreshed my memory by rereading them now. Fantastic series. You can see the artwork here is great. It may not be for everyone. De Felici has great detail and a really nice style that I like. It obviously suits the book since it's a creator-owned title. But what the story basically focuses on is you have the main character, Nathan Cole, who is sort of he's part of this agency that essentially travels into what they call Oblivion. At some point, there were about 300,000 people in Philadelphia that disappeared, and they got basically moved to this weird Oblivion area. No one knows how it happened, or maybe they do, and I just haven't gotten there yet. But essentially, Nathan Cole, his team goes into Oblivion, and they go to rescue people. They go to bring people back to the real world, if you will, if we can call it that. It's an interesting story. There are these weird creatures on Oblivion. Up until where I was reading, there were theories that it was sort of their world and people were in their world. But again, I don't really know what's going on. Nathan, in particular, this is not a spoiler. This happens within the first. You find this out within the first couple issues. His brother was one of the people who got lost in Oblivion. So his mission is to get his brother back, and that's why he's so persistent on continuing these missions. The government has essentially given up on this organization, this team of Cole's team. despite the fact that Cole's team does bring people back over and over again. And it's really interesting to see how the normal world is reacting to this. Of course, there are people saying that it's a religious thing. There are people saying that it's aliens, things like that. It's all over the place. It's a very interesting concept. I'm very excited to see what sort of weird, crazy creatures they come up with. I'm very curious to see if they somehow are able to interact with these creatures and do things better, but I know there's going to be great human drama in this story. I'm really enjoying it so far. Great bonus content in the back here. You get some character design stuff, some explanations of the designs and what they were thinking at the time, why they made the world, the universe of Oblivion Song the way they did. I'm very excited for this. I'm looking forward to having all three books. I think 36 issues is a fantastic length. 36 issues, great length for a title. You get a good story. You get to finish it without it getting to a point where it becomes bad, right? It's like Harvey Dent said, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That happens with comic series too, for sure. Runs that go on for too long cause trouble. I'm glad this one didn't. These are some fantastic variant covers here. Great. Awesome to see that amazing artwork in an oversized format. Great stuff. Really looking forward to diving into this one. Check out organicpricebooks.com. That's where we got this book. You can get it from there too. There's a little eye hole action for you pervs. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all very much for tuning in. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. As always, you stay classy, internet.